hope you're managing to get your daily exercise in, whether it's running, whether it's cycling, or whatever it is that you try and do. However, what I'd like to do is show you today is some really basic home exercises for those that either can't get out or are a bit less mobile. Even if you are mobile, we can still do these exercises and add more weight to progress it. So what I'd like to do is start off with showing you one of the most important things, which is your posture. So your posture is feet shoulder width apart, a slight bend in the knees, nice straight back. You're going to roll the shoulders back, head upwards, eyes looking forwards. Now we need to use our posture in the majority of the exercises we do. It's all good for safety and it's really good for the spine. First of all, what we need to do a warm up. We could do like a nice warm up at home in the lounge. So what I will do is I will show you very briefly how to do it. However, I'd like you to probably do between 20 and 30 seconds on each exercise, or an amount as I will specify in a minute. So first of all, what we need to do is the spine. So we're going to do some spinal rotation. So we're going to make a box out in front of us, keeping our hips nice and straight, head up looking forwards. We're going to rotate round, and then the same with the other side. Again, keeping the hips forwards. We're going to do this around about 8 times each side. Next we're going to do is a lateral side bend. So again, back straight looking forwards, lean over, and the same on the other side. Now we want to do this around about 8 times each side. Now moving on to the actual warm up. What we've just done then, by the way, we've just actually warmed up the spine. What we're going to do now is go on to our actual warm up. So some suggested ideas what you could use is, we can shrug the shoulders, we could bring the shoulders forwards, we can roll the shoulders backwards, we could bring the arms up, little circles to the front. We can get bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, if you've got the mobility, you might be able to touch your arms on your ears. Again, back out to the sides, we can roll them to the rear and do exactly the same again. So keep rolling all the way up. And it depends upon how mobile you are, depends how far you can get round. What we need to do now is bring some legs in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go left, left, right, right. So we're coming out to the sides as well. What we're going to do now is bring the arms in. And these are all called dynamic stretches. That means we're actually warming up and stretching at the same time. Very, very good to do it inside. Okay, stop there. And we can also now bring our legs up gently like so. Remembering always to keep your back nice and straight looking forwards. And again, depending upon what your mobility is, depends how fast or how slow you need to go. We can bring the legs in a bit faster, warming up the muscles now, raising the heartbeat. You can bring the arms in as well. And like I said, to start with, we need to be doing these for about 20 to 30 seconds each. This should warm us up nicely for our main set of exercises, which I'll go over now. So the first exercise that I'm going to go over are squats. For the less mobile, we can use the seat. So again, posture, we're going to stand up nice and straight, back nice and straight looking forwards. You see, we're going to come down and just touch your bum on the edge of the seat, bringing the arms out in front for a little bit of support. To progress from this, we can do it without the seat. So again, we're coming all the way down now and back up again. Arms out in front for a bit of support. Another progression from this is we can use a book, a nice thick book, just to raise the heels up a little bit. Down and up, down and up. Another progression, we can now use our bag. We have a bag here, it's full up of different weights. You can put whatever you need in for whatever you feel is good for you. So in this case, I'm going to place it on my front, got my heels up on the book, and again, I can squat down, bring my arms out and back up. Or we can actually place the rucksack on the back, and again, down, arms out and back up. That is our squat. If you're fortunate enough to have some stairs in your house, if you don't live in a bungalow, we can do some step ups. And again, as with the squats, we can be working our leg muscles, our quads, our hamstrings, and possibly our glutes as well. So, step ups, we're going to stand again, nice posture, and all we're going to do is we're going to go left up, left down, and then alternate, right up, right down. And we're going to keep doing that. And what we're looking at for progression as well is we can put the rucksack on for weights, or we can pick up some heavy weights that we've got around the house. It could be bags of flour, anything heavy that you can look around and use to progress that particular exercise. What we're going to do now, we're going to move on to some upper body. So we're going to do some upper back muscles now. So using the bag again, we just move the chair just slightly that way. Right, we're going to do a row now. So again, posture, feet shoulder width apart, nice straight back, lean forwards, pick up the bag at the handles there, and all we're going to do is we're going to row. And like I said before, it depends how much weight you have in that bag, depends how much you would like to progress that exercise. What we're going to do now is move on now to some really basic chest exercises by laying on the floor. Okay, going to bring the bag over with our weight in. All we're going to do is push the bag upwards and back down, working those chest muscles. Good chest exercise there, very basic, but very good. Now, what we're going to do now is work on to some shoulder muscles now. And the first one we're going to do is some lat raises. And again, for those that are a little bit less mobile, we can use it a seated position. All I'm going to do now is use a couple of tins of food. We don't need a very heavy weight on this exercise because we're using the mid-deltoid muscle there. Anything heavy, we're going to start working the back muscles, which we don't want to do. We've just done that with our bag. So, back nice and straight. Tins are going to be down by our sides, and we're literally going to come up and back down. Up and back down. If you can manage it off the seat, again, feet shoulder width apart, nice straight back, up and back down, up and back down. That is the lateral raise. However, we can also do a different shoulder exercise, which is our shoulder press. So on the shoulder press, again, I'm using 2 tin cans here, but you can use whatever weights or bits and bobs you find around the house. We're going to bring it up so it's in line with the ears, and then we're going to press upwards so the weight is just above our shoulders, and back down again. Level with the ears, back up and back down again. Okay, that was the shoulder press. So moving on now, what we're going to do is, let's move that right out of the way. We're now going to go on to some arm exercises now. The first one being our biceps. So again, I'm going to pick my bag up, keep my back nice and straight. Just going to pick the bag up like so. As you can see, my upper arm is straight, and all we're going to do is lift the bag up using that elbow as a pivot. Imagine you've got a piece of paper in there and you don't want to drop the paper, like so. Up, down. That is the bicep curl. Don't forget to do it both sides. What we're going to do now is move on to our tricep press. So again, we can use the bag. Just going to lift the bag up gently around to my back like so. I'm going to use this hand as support. So supporting the upper arm in an upright direction, so the elbow's pointing upwards. I'm simply going to press upwards and back down. As you can see, I'm keeping my upper arm, this bit, as straight as I can with the elbow pointing upwards. That's a tricep press. Again, don't forget to do it on both sides. So that was a little demonstration of certain exercises that you can do. I just want to finish off with a little bit of core, because obviously core is important. It's not just the stomach muscles that we need to work for our core, it's also our back muscles, all part of the same midriff core area. First one we're going to do, very simple, very basic. We're going to do an ab curl. So, we're going to place our hands on our thighs. All we're going to do is push our hands up our thighs by curling forwards. Before we curl forwards, I just want you to suck your belly buttons in so it's nice and taut in there, and curl upwards. When you curl upwards, make sure your chin is on your chest and back down so there's a gap. So up, down. One more, up, down. And finally, we're going to move on to, as I say, our lower back muscles. So this one is our back extensors. Lay down, so the rear of your hands on your lower back, and you're simply going to lift up and back down. Lift up and back down. So that completes all of our exercises. However, if you're not really used to it, if your mobility is not that good, then try doing 10 repetitions of each exercise first of all. The fitter you get, or the more flexible you get, add it on to do 15 or maybe 20. Or you can even put a time in it. So on each exercise you do 30 seconds or 45 or even a minute. At the end of each round or each set as such, again, the fitter you get, you can always do a second set or a third, a fourth or even a fifth set. So that comes the conclusion of our actual exercises. Now I'd like to give you a quick demonstration of some cool down stretches. Each stretch should be held for about 15 seconds, possibly 20 seconds, because it's after exercise, post exercise stretches. First one we're going to do, again, feet shoulder width apart, nice straight back, is our lats. We're going to start at the top and work down. So we're going to put one hand above the other and we're going to stretch up to the ceiling like so and hold it there. Second one, we're going to do our back, same sort of thing but out to the front, push forwards, hold it there and relax. Then we're going to do our chest, hands on the lower back, try squeezing the elbows together. You feel the stretch there on your pectoral muscles, your chest muscles there, hold it there. Next one is our shoulders. This one, arm across the body, hand just behind the elbow there. Bring it in, hold it there. Again, do both sides. And now we do the triceps. Hands in the hair, fingers on the spine, other hand just there, just below the elbow and push it backwards. You will feel a stretch there on the triceps. Hold it there, again, both sides. Now we're going to come down to our lower half. So we're going to start off with our quads. Use the wall if you can, or something to hold on to. So your heel comes up to your buttock, slight gap between your knees, slight bend in that supporting leg. Nice straight back, hold it there. Again, both sides. Next we're going to do our hamstrings. Hands on the hips, nice straight back. We're going to place one foot out in front. And then we're going to sit back on that supporting leg. Lean into it. You'll feel a stretch now on the hamstring, which is your upper rear muscle. Hold it there. Always make sure you've got this nice straight back. Both sides. Finish off now with our calves. You can find a wall. You don't even need a wall. So what we can do with this one, we can put one foot out in front. Hands on the hips, nice straight back, and we're leaning into it. And what we're looking at is having our body in line with that rear leg, and for our heel at the back to be pressed down like so. Hold it there. Don't forget to do both sides. That, I hope, has given you some kind of idea of some different exercises you can do at home. Again, it's down to you if you use weight. You can just use body weight. I've got tins there. Depends how much you put in your bag. Look around the house for different items, different weights, etc. But I'm hoping you're going to get something from that, especially those that may be a little bit less mobile. And yeah, if you can't get out, try this 2 or 3 times a week. Thank you.